Video, guys, on solving two-step equations. You will notice that you've got four equations visible in front of you, which look a little bit different to what we've solved with one-step equations. And as the name suggests, we need to do two things or two operations to solve for our unknown variable or pronumeral, All right, so let's just analyze our first question that we'll go through. 2x plus 4 is equal to 10. Now, 2x plus 4, something is happening with that x, and there's two operations. So we start off with our x, we then multiply by 2 to get our 2x, and then we add 4 to get our 2x plus 4. So we've been looking at operations and having a look at inverse operations. So in order for us to go from our 2x plus 4 and then back to our 2x, then back to our x, what we need to do is subtract 4 and then divide by 2. So those are our inverse operations. So take away 4 and then divide by 2. So step number 1 is to subtract 4 from both sides. And then you'll notice that when you've got your plus 4 and take away 4, that disappears. So you're just left with your 2x. And then you've got the 10, take away 4, and now we have 2x is equal to 6. Then we need to divide by 2 to leave us with our pronumeral x. So x is equal to 6 divided by 2, which is equal to 3. Now we can go back into our original equation and then replace our x with 3. So 2 times 3 plus 4. So 6 plus 4, that does equal 10. Fantastic. Our answer, x equals 3, is correct. Now, number 2, our first line, you don't necessarily have to answer it in the way that I'll show you, but I know some students like to have the x or the pronumerals on the left-hand side. So all I've done is grab the 2x take away 4 and put it on that side. Grab the 10, move it to the other side. It's exactly the same equation. So now in this case, we've got 2x. So that means we are starting with the x, multiplying it by 2, and then we have our 2x, and then to get to our 2x, take away 4, we subtract the 4. Now if we start off with the 2x, take away 4, to get back to the 2x, and then get back to the x, we need to add 4. That's the opposite or the inverse operation, and then divide by 2. So on both sides, add 4. So 2x is equal to 14. That's the 10 plus 4. And then our last step, divide by 2 to get 14 divided by 2, which is equal to 7. All right, here's 2 more equations. If you want to pause the video and attempt these two, that might be a good idea. Otherwise, you can just follow and have a look at some of these key ideas that I will point out as we go through. Okay, so we want to do the same thing to both sides. And right here is the numerical number 4. Now, with any number that doesn't have a sign at the front, like let's have a look at the number 1, or the number 2, or number 33, or the number -6. Let's have a look at the either positive or negative values. If it doesn't have a negative at the front, they are positive numbers there. So those 3 numbers are positive. The one with the 6 is a negative because it has a negative at the front. So In this case, this 4 is a positive 4. So the opposite of a 4, or adding 4, is subtracting 4. Taking 4 away from both sides of the equation to get rid of this 4. So when you take 4 away from 4, 0. Now, the thing I want to point out is this takeaway sign is in front of this 2x. Negative 2x it becomes. And then on the right-hand side, 10 take away 4, you do that operation. And now we've got negative 2x is equal to 6, which means negative 2 multiplied by x. So that is saying negative 2 times x, so the inverse is going to be dividing by negative 2. So divide both sides by negative 2. I actually am missing the working out of that step, so if you want to do divided by negative 2, divided by negative 2, and then 6 divided by 2 is 3, so 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. And number 4, what's happening with the x initially? So start off with the x, and then you divide by 4 to get x on 4, and then to get x on 4, take away, oops, that's a 4. Take away 2, we subtract 2. So if we're going in this direction, to get back to our x, so starting with x on 4, take away 2, we need to add 2 to get to an x on 4, and then we need to multiply by 4. So add 2 first, multiply by 4 next, to calculate what our pronumeral is. So adding 2 to both sides, we get x on 4 is equal to 12, multiply by 4, and we end up getting our solution of 48. Alright guys, thanks for watching that video on two-step equations.